This is ZNN, the Zodiac News Network.
Action.
I hope nobody notices that I got this jacket at the Salvation Army.
Well, if they didn't notice now, they're never going to know. What was
No,
that?
Jeff.
What was it? If they didn't know then, they won't.
Okay, well, you don't think they'll notice that I got this jacket at the Salvation Army, do you?
I don't think so. No, I don't. What was I supposed to say again? I completely.
Man, I hope nobody notices I got this jacket at the Salvation Army.
Well, if they didn't know then, they're not.
Hey, say cut!
Action.
I hope nobody notices that I got this jacket at the Salvation Army, Jethro.
Well, they're going to know now.
You know you're supposed to say action, Jeff?
Oh, action.
Thanks. Well, welcome back to the Zodiac News Network. I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence D'Antonio. This is episode 2. We're going to get right to it. Hope you guys enjoyed the first one. A couple things, though, that I wanted to talk about. We do have a winner for the Detective David Tashi Award. We have a gentleman by the name of Joel Serico who sent me a letter. Now, this was good. He saw my mailing address on the letter that I displayed, so I really give him credit for his observation, and he sent me a letter. And his question was, are there other faces on that very same letter? He has been trying my technique, and he thinks he has seen some additional faces. And here's the answer to that. Yes, there are. Remember that the Zodiac, Arthur Lee Allen, cannot see the stamped faces that he's putting on the letters. They are invisible. He has an idea where he put them. They are drying because they're oil-based, and he is overstamping some of these images. So what you will find is a lot of images on top of each other, depending on the focal point of your camera and where it lands. So that's number one, and I really take my hat off to you for doing that. That is the Detective David Tashi Award. Number 2, question from somebody, are you using a teleprompter? Absolutely no, we're winging this, it's all off the top of my head. Number 3, got an interesting comment that we're going to address, and we're going to have a little bit of enforcement for people who like to state things. I am a big fan of people stating their position, as long as it's based on factual information. There's something that people need to know. When you go in front of a courtroom and you address a judge, for one side, there's always people addressing the judge from the other side, and the judge doesn't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. So the judge looks for anything that is factually incorrect, and once the judge finds something that's factually incorrect, he or she discounts the entire testimony. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody is deliberately lying. It may be that they are just uneducated, or they misspoke. So usually what a judge will do is they will allow an individual to come back in and restate their testimony once a non-factual statement has been found to be incorrect or disputed. And I think that's really fair. Now, somebody may go back in and say, well, to the best of my education, this is my opinion. And then they're just completely discounted by the judge because they're not educated enough, their education lacks. Or they may walk in and say, well, now that this was pointed out to me, I need to restate my position. And they're given that opportunity in a court of law. Or they may just take the position, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and they are completely discounted. And that's what we're going to do with people who write statements that are factually incorrect. Now, anybody who takes the position that Arthur Lee Allen has been dismissed as a suspect in the Zodiac murder cases as the Zodiac is factually incorrect. And I'm going to give that individual an attempt to restate or correct their statement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a homework assignment. And that homework assignment is that individual needs to contact the San Francisco Police Department and speak to either the detective or their partner in charge of the Zodiac murder, or the head of the department, because the San Francisco Police Department has a new policy. This policy is if you come to them with evidence or information in the Zodiac murder case and your suspect is not Arthur Lee Allen, they are not interested in talking to you, nor will they conduct an investigation into your findings. If you ask them why, they will tell you that they have compelling, overwhelming evidence that Arthur Lee Allen is the Zodiac killer, and they're only interested in evidence or information on Arthur Lee Allen. This is the policy of the San Francisco Police Department, and it is a written directive that the detectives must follow. Now, if you recall, years ago, they didn't have this policy, and a woman came forward and said that her father was the Zodiac and that she had Paul Stein's glasses, because their old policy was they would investigate all comers and all claims. So your homework assignment is to call the San Francisco Police Department and verify the statement I just made as truthful, which contradicts your statement that Arthur Lee Allen has been dismissed as a suspect. In addition, you need to ask them the date that policy change took place, and we will discuss that in a future show. If you don't do that, I've given you the chance to correct your statement just like a judge would in a court of law, then we're going to dismiss you from here on out. And I think that's a shame, because I like to read from intelligent people, intelligent statements, and I want to give them the chance that maybe they were misinformed, which there's a lot of misinformation on the websites out there. If you can't get in charge of the San Francisco Police Department, feel free to call the Vallejo Police Department and talk to the detective in charge. And what they will tell you is Arthur Lee Allen is their only suspect. He has not been dismissed in the Vallejo murders. If you can't get a hold of them, feel free to contact the Riverside Police Department and discuss with the detective in charge of the Sherry Jo Bates murder and ask, is Arthur Lee Allen a suspect in that murder? You will be told that yes, he is. Now, it's not proven that Sherry Jo Bates is a Zodiac murderer, but what you will find is that Arthur Lee Allen is indeed the perpetrator, and he is the individual who murdered Sherry Jo Bates. So there's 3 police departments that you can contact in your homework assignment to give you a chance to correct your written statement. If you don't want to do that, that's your decision, but the difference between you and I is I've gone out and I've done things. You go out and read about the case and you don't do anything. I've been to every single law enforcement agency that I just listed. I have met with district attorneys. I have met with police chiefs, assistant district attorneys, and I can tell you right now that Arthur Lee Allen is the prime suspect in the majority of jurisdictions that actually work the case. So there's the assignment, and anybody who wants to play games, we'll just delete you forever and you can be a bystander. You never will do anything in this case, and we're not going to listen to your opinions. So that's taking care of the house cleaning. Let's get to the photos. As you know, we displayed a sample of the artwork of the Zodiac Killer. I call her Mona Lisa. I gave you how we found her, the technique that was used to find her, which is the magic of either the Betamax/VHS camera. I also told you that the template where we found this is from a news report, and that news report is a video. People need, if you want to see Mona Lisa on your own, you have to know where to go to look. So what I will tell you is that the television show, it is a television show that did a special on the Zodiac, and they are filming in the San Francisco Police Department. You know what letter to look for. Now all you have to do is look around and see if you can find it. You don't need a special camera. You just need your right finger. When you see the letter being displayed, it's in the hands of a documents examiner or a detective. You will see Mona Lisa's eye. It's very easy to see. You need your right finger to push on your space bar to stop the video, and then use your right finger to touch the space bar to slowly advance frame to frame to frame, and you will find Mona Lisa. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about for Mona Lisa. We're going to talk about more science today, since part of the reason for this show is I need to discuss the science. I told you I'm going to reveal how I do what I do so that you can do it, because reproducibility is just about everything. But today we're going to talk about a face that we found just by using the naked eye. Just the naked eye with a magnifying glass. This is something you should be able to do at home. You don't need any special equipment. This face is on the dress of a Zodiac victim. Her name is Betty Jensen. Betty was shot near the town of Benicia, and her dress is part of the evidence collection of the Solano County Sheriff's Department. This dress can be viewed in numerous sources. It's in both black and white, and it's in color. And what we noticed through our work is we were looking for a very particular stain, because we know that the Zodiac left these images on just about everything. If you recall, I said there is a trail of evidence. That trail includes all the Zodiac letters. What does that mean? It only means that the Zodiac stamped or imprinted these cartoon faces on every known Zodiac letter, and it's clearly obsessive compulsive disorder. The trail then leads into two other letters that the handwriting experts ruled as counterfeits. The handwriting experts said that they were good, but they were forced. I have spoken to Lloyd Cunningham. He's a really great handwriting expert, but he ruled them counterfeits, not Zodiac. Unfortunately, science doesn't lie. The oil staining is on those counterfeits along with the cartoon faces. They are true blue Zodiac. And what we learned from one of those counterfeits was there was a particular staining pattern from the oil that you need to look for. We look for square corners, like a rectangle or a square. That is important. Following the trail of evidence then led to the examination of Betty Jensen's dress, and there is a clear-cut stain that is different from all the other stains on her dress. Now, this victim's dress is stained with blood, probably urine, a lot of terrible things on that dress, but there's clearly a stain with square-cut corners, and that's what we look for. When you examine that stain, then you're going to find that he did indeed stamp a victim. I was asked by the Solano County investigators how long I estimated it took him to do that, and I said no more than 10 seconds. It would be quite simple. He would get her out of the car at gunpoint. He would slap her thigh, her dress, above her thigh. For no more than 10 seconds he would hold pressure, and then he told her to run, and he shot her in the back. You can clearly see in the photo that this stain is visible to the naked eye, which means the investigators either saw it and did not understand the significance of it, or they saw it and they documented it, again not knowing what it was, or they completely missed it. What I do know is this is an oil-based stain. It will be on that dress for centuries as long as the dress is protected. The stain will not go away, just like the real Mona Lisa hanging in the Louvre. Oil-based colors are pretty much permanent. That dress has been examined as a result of my work, and it has been concluded that the face is visible without any special techniques other than the aid of a magnifying glass. I mean, God bless this poor girl for what she went through, but it's very clear that the Zodiac, and I claim that it's Arthur Lee Allen. This is a compulsion, and he stamps his faces everywhere. The trail of evidence will lead to Arthur Lee Allen's personal letters, and then the trail of evidence will lead to the Riverside letters, the Riverside desktop, and most importantly, the Timex watch that was found next to the body of Sherry Jo Bates. Once again, I claim that Arthur Lee Allen is the Zodiac. I also claim that he killed Sherry Jo Bates, and that is his wristwatch. That Timex watch is his that they found next to her body. Hope you'll tune in with us on our next one. Once again, this show is dedicated to my heroes, Robert Graysmith and Detective Tashi. And again, Brian Hartnell, thank you much for tuning in. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching ZNN, the Zodiac News Network.